Why don't you sit again so we can both see it?
Pause off of the sheet.
It's finishing at work, so I don't know what that means.
This isn't really working.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Wave if you can hear me. I think I turned off all of your mics for just a moment. Great. You know how your professors often tell the same bad joke in class? Welcome. You got one that you probably haven't heard before, but I tell it every year this time. And I tell this joke, and I am sitting on the stage in these tiny little chairs in my full black regalia, and I'm like this far away from my colleagues. And it's hot, and it's sweaty, and all of our students are spread out, and they're kind of hot and sweaty too. And we think there's probably at least one of them that's not wearing a thing underneath that robe, and we try not to think about that, and we don't. But I say the same bad joke to my colleagues, and I say, you know, every year about this time, I just get this feeling of warm closeness. Well, right now, I'm far from them, and I'm far from you, but I do have a feeling of warm closeness without the sweat, without the sun. It's really much more comfortable than we usually do this. But to this meeting. Okay, so I have just muted everybody, but I am going to ask our faculty for a moment to come in and introduce themselves. I'm talking right now, and my thing is unmuted, so I'll start. I'm Dan Klooster. I'm a professor of environmental studies. I have the honor and privilege to teach classes like Introduction and Food and Nature, and this year, Capstone. I'm going to pass the baton to Hillary now. I just unmuted you, Hillary.
Perfect. Thank you, Dan. Well, my name is Hillary Jenkins. I am currently the chair of the Department of Environmental Studies, and the courses that I teach in our curriculum fall on the physical sciences end of the spectrum. So I teach things like geology, hydrology, environmental disasters, and climate.
I see that Alana Belkin is in the house. Would you introduce yourself, Alana?
Sure.
I just messed with your mic. Start again.
Did you mute me, Dan?
I tried to unmute you, but I think that we had a crossing of thoughts in the ether.
I'll start again. Hi, guys. I'm Alana Belkin, and I teach spatial studies. which is a minor at the university and technically separate from EVST, but filled with EVST students. So I definitely feel very strongly a part of the EVST department. So I'm gonna miss all the little faces.
Thank you, Anna. I see Wendy kind of arbitrarily on this list of participants I've got on the side of the screen. Unmuted, Wendy. Hello.
Hi, I'm Wendy McIntyre, and I'm a member of the department. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm a faculty member of the department. I teach ecology. I teach intro quite often. I teach biodiversity and public lands, and I'm on the living sciences spectrum of the teaching in the department. Welcome.
Thank you, Wendy. Next on this list, which is now rather long, there's lots of people here. I happen to see Shelley, though. Are you able to say hello to us, Shelley?
Hi, everyone. I'm Shelley Zayas-Rowe, and I generally teach classes that are policy oriented, so environmental impact assessment, environmental planning, some first year seminars, and climate change or resiliency planning. Congrats.
Tim, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I am Eratosthenes, standing in for Tim Krantz. Teaches physical geography and birds and plants and sustainable buildings and gallivants off to French Polynesia every now and then, except this year. But in any case, hello from Tim Krantz.
Val, are you available to say hi? I've just unmuted you.
Yes, I am. I'm Valerie Rountree, and I'm in the social sciences area. I teach energy and the environment, intro to environmental science, environment and society, and I'll be teaching capstone next year with Wendy McIntyre. Really excited.
Okay, I didn't see other people on the list, but I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Do we have another faculty member virtually here who wants to say hello? Then the next thing on our agenda is
Okay, next I would like to thank our team. We are 5 faculty that most of you know, most of our graduates know, but we have a huge team of supporters that make our job possible. We really could not do our job without the support we get from other faculty and support staff. So I'd just like to thank them each individually. And the first is Jennifer Bertelin was with us for 1 year. And I know some of you seniors especially might have had her May term or one of her other courses. She was with us for 1 year and then left for a tenure track position at another university. And we'd just like to thank her for her time. Jacob Bentham really carried a lot of weight this year for our sustainable business majors. Jacob was with us this year, and he's now gone on to a tenure track position in Pennsylvania. So we wish him very well and thank him so much for his contributions to our sustainable business program. Next, Jim Spee, who is also a huge contributor to our sustainable business program. We simply wouldn't have that program without Jim. So those seniors, those of you who are graduating today really owe a lot to Jim. He's really sustained us with this major. Next, Leilani Stell. Many of you seniors have had marine ecology or mapping marine animals or gone to Palau with Leilani. And she's just been a huge contributor to our program in the marine ecology arena. I would like to thank Shelley. Everybody knows Shelley, and she's been a huge part of our program for many, many years. She gives and gives and gives, put us on the learning exchange, which unfortunately couldn't happen this year, but she's just been a gem, and we sure appreciate Shelley and all she does for our department. And then next would be Deborah Keyes. Deborah is just an outstanding department coordinator. She goes way above and beyond the call of duty consistently. And she is, we just couldn't do our job without her. She's probably the most important person in our building in terms of keeping things going.
Here.
And finally, Alana Belkin. Alana has just been a huge part of our curriculum these past 3 years that she's been here. It's hard to believe that it's been 3 years. In some ways, it seems like she just came yesterday. And in some ways, it seems like she's been with us forever. I, for one, am really going to miss her, and I'm sure many of you seniors and faculty are saying the same thing. She's just been, I don't have words. She's just fun. I can't say enough. She won Professor of the Year, which has never happened for a visiting faculty member. She's just been a phenomenal addition, and there will be a gaping hole when you leave, Alana. And she's been one of my six-pack, which she knows what that means, and I know what that means, and the rest of you will just have to guess. But we love you, Alana, and wanted to say a very heartfelt goodbye, or actually see you later, because I, for one, am coming to Trinidad.
Okay. So I am going to unmute the mics for a minute on everybody. And I'm just going to say, yay, we love you.
All the way from India.
Thank you. Happy for those who will still be here next year. Our heart is broken for those who will not.
Am I in the big screen?
Hey, shout out. Your mics are all open. Shout out. I'm going to turn you off.
Oh my
Bulldog, right.
Right. Okay, I've muted you all again. Val, before we start to read names, I think we were going to try to tell you all. At the moment, I've got 79 people with us. 79 of us are here virtually. Val, would you describe our degrees, please, before we read the names? And you're muted, so you'll have to unmute your mic. It's difficult for me to find.
I thought you
a list of 75. So.
Department of Environmental Studies graduates students in 3 distinct programs: a Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Studies, a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science, and this year, our first graduates in the Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Business. Students in all 3 of these majors take a common set of core environmental courses across the earth, life, and social sciences. Environmental Studies majors examine the social, economic, and political components of environmental challenges, while environmental science majors use the scientific method to provide a quantitative understanding of environmental challenges. Our sustainable business majors, formerly environmental business, integrate environmental challenges with successful business strategy and management practices. All 3 of these degrees integrate social and environmental science to critically evaluate complex environmental problems and opportunities.
Thank you, Val. So the next item on our agenda is a remembrance of a very special person who's not with us now, at least not physically. Tim, we are hoping that you will be able to say a few words about Monty. I am going to show you just a couple of images of him first.
And I believe I can talk over that.
Okay, that'd be perfect.
Okay, great.
But hey, Erasmus, would you please invite Tim Krantz back?
Okay, real quick.
Thank you, Erasmus. It was good to have you with us.
I'm as you all know, we regretfully lost Monty Hempel in the fall semester due to a sudden onset of a serious illness. Monty and I were founding faculty members of this department back in the late 1990s. And really it fell to Monty to develop the environmental studies program as we know it today. What began as a small program of maybe a dozen or so majors has developed to be one of the largest programs on campus. Monty was widely known among you, our environmental studies students, for his marine environmental studies courses, for taking students to Palau, as he's pictured here. He was an outstanding underwater videographer, teaching climate disruption and environmental policy classes. He developed the Palau program from scratch and annually would take students down to those magnificent islands in Micronesia. And many students then developed their videography skills under his tutelage. If you ever have the chance to catch some of his videos on YouTube, I would encourage you to do so. They are works of art. He was also very widely known and respected amongst other environmental scientists and environmental studies academics across the nation, where he founded several nationwide environmental associations. We know of him, we personally know of him as a good friend, a local neighbor here in Oakland to us. He had a very wry sense of humor that I've shared with some of my classes on some of his slightly off-color videos. We enjoyed very much making music together and with his wife Marilyn, and watching obscure comedic movies such as The Big Lebowski and other great hits. We really miss you, Monty. I'm sure he's with us all here in spirit. He cared very much for you, his students, and we miss you very much.
So Marilyn suggested a couple of two poems, which we'll share with you. It seems like centuries ago, but in January, we were meeting physically in rooms together. And one of his favorite songs was a song called Unsustainable by Eliza Gilkyson. And I read that in a ceremony in January, but I've since learned it's a song, and now when I try to read it, I can't read it anymore. And what's a commencement without somebody singing? Hopefully not for very long, and hopefully not too badly, but I'm gonna try to belt this one for you. The song is called Unsustainable. It was one of Monty's favorite songs. It's by a singer-songwriter called Eliza Gilkyson. I kind of think of it as like a bad boyfriend song. You know the relationship is really terrible and you really need to break up, but there's still some things you like about that unproductive person for you. Unsustainable by Eliza Gilkyson. Unsustainable, unmaintainable, We've gone too far and now it's uncontainable. Let's tear it down and start all over again. Reprehensible, indefensible, the way we are is truly incomprehensible. Back to the drawing board and start all over again. Madly, we loved you madly. We would have gladly maintained the status quo. Badly, we've behaved badly, and now sadly, we'll have to let you go. You're so unforgivable, results unreadable, to make a perfect garden so unlivable. Back to the drawing board and start all over again. Madly, we loved you madly. We would have gladly maintained the status quo. Badly, we've behaved badly, and now sadly, we'll have to let you go. You're so unsustainable, unrestrainable. Our rationale is simply unexplainable. Let's tear it down and start all over. Back to the drawing board and start all over. Let's tear it down and start all over again. Thank you. I see the applause. Fortunately, you're... Oh, was I muted? That's why you're applauding. Hillary, you're up next.
All right. Well, I won't sing this like Dan, but I will read another quotation that really exemplifies in many ways Monty and the way he thought about nature and interacted with it. And this is by John Muir, and it's called Morning of Creation. One learns that the world, though made, is yet being made, that this is still the morning of creation, that mountains, long conceived, are now being born, brought to light by the glaciers, channels traced for coming rivers, basins hollowed for lakes. This grand show is eternal. It is always sunrise somewhere. The dew is never dried all at once. A shower is forever falling. Vapor is ever rising. Eternal sunrise, eternal dawn and gloaming on sea and continents and islands, each in its turn, as the round earth rolls. When we try to pick out anything by itself, we find it hitched to everything else in the universe. I went out for a walk.
I got it here. I'm coming up.
Finally concluded to stay out till sundown. For going out, I found, was really going in. Virtual applause there.
Thank you.
We could take a brief moment, maybe before we transition, to just remember Monty. Maybe a moment of silence to remember and think on him and his incredible legacy. Thank you. Now, next, I do have some words that I wish to share in many ways with the class of 2020 graduating now. I've spent a lot of time thinking about you all, and I have a few words I'd like to share. When I pictured this day, your graduation, I pictured a beautiful sunny evening, the Greek amphitheater buzzing with anticipation, your family and friends gathered together to celebrate your amazing achievement. What I didn't picture was congratulating you while wearing sweatpants and staring at a rather large pile of dirty laundry in the corner of my room. Nevertheless, here we are. The current time of crisis has forced you into a situation you weren't expecting. The unexpected turn from carefree to careful, community to isolation, and for some, from healthy to sick. Catastrophe for our modern time. But perhaps like me, this time of isolation has given you time to reminisce about your amazing experiences at the University of Redlands. Whether this has been your many hours in outdoor programs, prepping coolers and trip itineraries, or in the Lewis Hall Geo Lounge, where you presented posters for classes and waited patiently to meet with your EVST advisors, or perhaps it's memories of amazing May term classes like Panamapping in the Jungle with Dan Klooster, or traveling with Monty to the islands of Pollard. When I think of you, class of 2020, I think of prepping Cloud in a Bottle and fire tornado demonstrations with Tony Sidor, Kavya Mason, and Michael Tabai, of hiking charcoal forests toting machetes with Gabe Altieri and Claire Napier, of identifying rocks in the Paleo Lab with Paige Koenig, tackling challenging GIS mapping issues with Melanie Fida and Jaci Sanchez, and utterly destroying the carpet in 111 with liquid nitrogen ice cream as witnessed by Sumner McPherson, Bejon Shine, JJ Huggins, Ava Klein, Zoe Gibson, and many others. Those of you I didn't name, I have keen memories of you also. You are bright, talented, inquisitive, and kind. When I think of the class of 2020, I think of the promise of hope and change, an abrupt shift from this current catastrophe, out of the bad into the good. As most of you know, my favorite author is J.R.R. Tolkien, and one of my favorite words is an invention of his own, eucatastrophe. The word means an abrupt turn of events from bad to good. When things seem dark and there's no way something positive can happen, eucatastrophe. As scholars of the environment, graduating during a time of profound uncertainty, in so many ways, you are the eucatastrophe. You are the abrupt shift from bad to good. Whether this means fighting for environmental justice, studying ecosystem functioning and global change, opening sustainable businesses, or simply bringing a stronger understanding of the natural world to whatever job or environment you find yourself in, you will make it better. So, as you graduate and head off into the world, my job is done, our job is done, and I'm ready to sit back, grab some popcorn and a beer, and watch your stories unfold. Your epic tales of trial and triumph, your eucatastrophes. Congratulations, class of 2020. We love you, and we can't wait to see what you do.
I know. But I thought I'd share it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yay.
Of course, it's a little bit early because we haven't read any names yet. I muted myself on the wise suggestion from a member of the audience. I forgot to unmute myself because I knew that I would. WebEx. It's wonderful. We are now 91 participants. This is maybe one of our largest departmental meetings ever, frankly.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so what I pass the baton to you now, correct, Hillary?
Yes, yeah, I'll go ahead. And now really is the moment that you all have been waiting for. The reading of the names of the graduates of the University of Redlands. So I will just read some very important text to precede that, and then we will begin with the name calling. We have the honor to present to all those here today the 2020 candidates for graduation in the Department of Environmental Studies. The faculty of the Department of Environmental Studies certify that the following candidates for graduation have fully satisfied the requirements prescribed by the Department of the University of Redlands, pending satisfactory completion of all outstanding work. Students, please move your cap tassels from the right to the left.
People aren't wearing them.
And if you're not, you can symbolically move your cap tassel, even if you don't have one, shift it from the right to the left. And now we begin. Graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Studies.
Skyler Cain, Zoe Gibson, Jaci, Sanchez, Phi Beta Kappa and Departmental Honors. Amanda Seifert, double major Environmental Studies, Economics, Phi Beta Kappa and Departmental Honors.
Tim Broz, JJ Huggins, Lindsey Jordan, Mira Srinath. I can hear your people cheering through the blank screen.
Annika Michelson, Cassandra Osborn, Sarah Gregory,
Victoria Brewster, Laugan Miller,
Lauren Herber, Grace Pollard, Phi Beta Kappa. And now graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Business.
Marissa Zerngast,
And now graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Business.
Spencer Allen, Sadie Pickering,
Carter Kerwin,
Thomas Hanley,
Oh, Chris, I can barely see her. She's so dark.
Graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science.
Hannah Everett, Bejan Shine,
Marco Anderson, Sumner McPherson, Tony Sidor, John Stendhal,
Lacey, Brewster, Kappa and Departmental Honors, Rachel Wilkin,
Martha Carmona, Christina Gomez, Michael Talag, Destiny Timms, Gabriel Altieri.
Melanie Saida, Phi Beta Kappa and Summa Cum Laude. Theo Ukami, Ava Klein,
Next page or something.
Paige Koenig, Phi Beta Kappa, Departmental Honors, Tavia Mason, and Claire Napier.
Okay.
Bring it very dark, he said already.
The other moment that you've all been waiting for, the feedback, the clapping, the nasty, wonderful sounds of WebEx. Yay! Congratulations, yeah! It's so far away.
Put us on here.
Hey, Mira! Congrats, Tori! We love you! Congratulations! Hey, Tori! Mira!
Thank you.
Congratulations, everybody. Hi, Chase.
Congrats, Mira. Congrats.
Congratulations, Mira!
Cassandra!
Way back.
Oh my God.
You're talking.
Hi.
There.
She's ready like that.
Hold on,
Por todo mal y por todo bien también.
Yes.
Oh, yes!
Yay, Dan.
Dogs! Go Bulldogs!
Dan, oh my gosh.
Okay.
Cheers. Having a
Anybody feel inspired to say more? Oh my God, you did it. I see that.
Concludes the formal part of our presentation to you all. So we just open it now if you want. But we're just so proud of you and everything that you've done.
Sorry, Michael. Okay.
Congratulations, Doc. I want to say one thing, though. Faculty for getting me through 4 years. Turn this on.
So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to mute everybody. And now if you want to come back in and say something, unmute yourself.
I just want to say thank you to all the professors for getting me through the 4 years and putting. So thank you.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing. Thank you so much. Dan, you have been my rock through however many years I've been here. So I cannot tell you thank you enough. Alrighty.
I really enjoyed my time here with all of you, especially Alana, Klooster, McIntyre, everyone, including the students. And I really hope that all of you have a great rest of your careers and futures.
I'm not going to say anything long because I always cry at graduations, because it's great to see you guys like reach your culmination, but it's also like really sad. And this year it's doubly sad for me because I'm also leaving. But I just want to say that it has been amazing seeing your growth through the time. I've been here for 3 years with some of you in my first set of classes. So it's just been fantastic, just seeing your journey and your growth. And I know that you will continue doing that as you move forward, and keep the GIS flag flying high, and I will stalk all of you on Instagram.
I guess I'll just say that this is an extremely special department, and I feel very, very lucky to have found this community. It has truly made these 4 years special, and I don't know where I would be without having met all of the wonderful people in this community of people. So thank you guys so much.
I just wanted to say thank you everyone for helping me get through everything. I know I didn't have I had kind of a bumpy freshman year trying to pursue physics at first, and then I realized it was way too hard for me. So joining the EVST department was kind of a spur of the moment decision, but I really grew to enjoy it, and I think I grew as a person because of it. So thank you everyone.
I also just want to say that advanced GIS guys, don't think that because you've had graduation, you don't need to hand in your final projects. I still expect those. Make sure you hand in the last of your work.
So I'm gonna try and say something real quick. As small as this little, WebEx meeting is, I think it means a lot. It shows how close students here can get to professors, and like all the other graduates that said before me. Thank you. We can't thank you enough to the professors and the faculty here. I see Deborah Keyes is here too. Shout out to Deborah. Having candy in front of the office every single day is just a little tiny thing that helps us get through our day. And we can't thank you enough for letting us get through these 4 years. So thank you, and cheers to faculty.
Cheers to faculty. Your classes have always been my favorite and the most refreshing change of pace. I don't know what I've done without the EVST department these last 4 years.
just want to say thank you to all of the amazing EVST staff out there and to my fellow student graduates for just helping me get through this amazing journey of college. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to say thank you. I was originally a bio major, and that was not the move for me. Then following it was like it was just right, and I love all of my professors, and always look forward to going into Lewis and seeing friendly faces. And so I really appreciate everything you've done for us, especially this ceremony right now, and thank you for everything.
Yeah, I just want to say the same. I mean, I didn't start with a bio major, but I intended on going to Redlands for a business major, actually, for global business. And holy crap, I never thought I would have studied environmental studies. So thank you all, and I appreciate getting me through the journey.
Yes. Okay, sorry for that hideous echo. Yes, what an important major, environmental science and studies. It's really cool to look at the world around us and be able to know like so much more about it because of the things that we learned from our amazing faculty. And thank you to all the pals that I met in class and all of the fun things that we got to do. Like I'll never forget using a paintball gun in the back of Lewis on some flour. But yeah, I value my time at Redlands and especially in the EVST department. And thank you for putting this on. It's very important. So thank you.
Hello. I just want to thank the faculty and everyone here. I came to Redlands playing softball. I didn't know what I wanted to do yet, so I took a chance with this department, and it was just really special. You guys are just so helpful, and I know everybody else is jealous because the EVS department is the best. So I just wanted to say thank you.
562.
Okay, I asked you all to join us from 11 to 12 with no clear idea of what would happen, but great certainty that I was part of the community where something cool would occur. All good things must come to an end, including this WebEx graduation ceremony. So one last chance to say something individually. And I know because I've had you in my classes that sometimes you're shy to raise your hand. Okay, I'm going to unmute you, and you're going to yell yourself out, and then I'm going to close the meeting when my speakers break. Congratulations! 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 See you in October, I hope. Physically. Bulldog face masks. I don't know, but something. I hope so.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Bye. Congratulations, Michael. Go Bulldogs.
Tamale.
Congratulations to all waiting for you to up in the air.